Jolene told me to make myself happy, so we're gonna customize this old Ford, and that's what's gonna make me happy. What I'm thinking today is we'll make a fender skirt for it. I've got the wheel taken off. I've got a jack stand underneath of it. I'm gonna pull the wheel from underneath the car, and then we're gonna try to build a fender skirt for it. No, we're not gonna try, we are. The fender skirt that I've seen on the internet that Jolene showed me does not follow this line all the way around like that. It comes up here somewhere close like that and goes on the top side of the fender all the way around and then back like that there somewheres. We're not going to try to, well, we're going to do it the way we want to do it anyway, because that's what we always do. But let's make a fender skirt for it. I'm not sure where you would get a set of fender skirts for a car like this. I'm sure you could search the internet probably. But this is what I'm thinking. I got a 1/4 inch piece of round rod, and I got some 5/16 round rod. I had to go over town to get that this morning because our friends in the look-off are not open on Mondays. But that's what I had to do. What I'm thinking is I'll get a piece of round rod in the shape of the fender first, or what I want the fender skirt to look like, and then we'll probably end up put some tape on the car, and then we'll apply it to the car. This is probably the hardest fender skirt to make. And when I say that, I'm saying that I'm not going to be taking any paint off the fender to make the fender skirt. Generally, when I make the fender skirts, I'm welding the round rod to the fender to hold shape. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to make it fit the car and not hurt the paint. I'm going to try to go with this one first. This is a 5/16. This is the bigger round one, obviously. And like I said before, the shape does not matter as long as I'm happy with it. Let's go for it. This is what I'm thinking. I'm going to bend this over this wheel, and then I'm going to go for it and see if I can't get a shape that I can put on the side of the car. What I want to do, well, I know that's, half the shape anyways, from there to there of that fender, so I can bend it that far, but I have to leave material for the back part and the front part that does not fit the wheel. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this up here. Just going to put that on that tire. This is what I'm going to do. Will you push that stool ahead a little bit? I gotta get that away from me there a little bit. Alrighty. We'll put it right in that groove right there. Just want to see if I got enough. Oh yeah. Stay. Now, that didn't do it any good because it bent in the center. Didn't do it any good at all. Kinda, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. It's only metal, right? We can do what we want with it. It's only metal. Take the little bend out of it. Remember, it wasn't following the. Put a little bend right there. On the side of the car. We're gonna have to be careful on the side of the car. I probably should whack some tape on the side of the car. Now, I don't mind that up about that high. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to bend this end back here a little bit. Do that again. See if I got enough. Yeah. Sorry. Now, I'm going to mark that. I'm going to get myself a wrench. I had a little bender here that was used or supposedly used to bend conduit pipe. Cannot find it. And it does not matter, I guess, because I can do it by eye or by hand. So what I'm telling you is you don't need anything to make these, I don't think. Just a will and the want. Just got a wrench right now. This is the back part of the fender skirt. Not got no patterns, got nothing. Just doing it for my. Yeah. Nice. I like that part. I like that. That looks good. Now, from here on, we have to get a little bit more bend. We have to get that front. Ha! Ha! Get down here for a second. Get this wheel. Try that again. Try to cut some off this. Now I have to, my material is too long for me to be playing with it right this second. Got to cut it off. Zip cut. Get a zip cut going here. Get it cut off. Basically what has to happen is I have to get a shape. I'm going to do this. Will you lean against that, please, Jolene? My queen, Jolene, you lean against that, please. Now, just going to trace the inside of the fender, the shape, that's all. Just so I got something to go by, so I have to keep putting it up against the side of the car. That's a mistake already, starting to put it up against the side of the car. And putting it upside against the car, I guess is okay, but I'm taking a chance of scratching it and all that sort of stuff. Don't want to go there. I know the paint's not that good on it, but let's face it, I don't have to mess it up. Okay, we'll go with that. This is the shape that I'm wanting. Should have done that probably the first thing. Now, this is my shape, but we're backwards because we're backwards. Just gonna do this. Put this on the floor. Now we have to remember that's the body line of the car. We got that on the back. This is way better doing this way, isn't it? Having something to go by. We'll get this going. Anything to mess it up. I'm going to go like that. And I don't mind that distance all the way. Don't mind that at all. Why not? I'm going to hold that sort of the best I can. Get out of here. Not making me happy. Something doesn't make you happy, get rid of it. If you got jealousy around you, get rid of it. Terrible. Probably one of the worst drugs going is a piece of jealousy. Ask me, I know. See that pull down there? That fits good. Now, do this. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. That's not a bad looking fender skirt right there. And the distance up here, they had distance on there, so let's they had. I'm going to take and push that in a little bit. Pull this around a little bit. Just a little bit. Nothing to kink it, but nothing to just make it where we want it. Okay. Nice. Noise. Cut it off. Cut it off. Pair of glasses. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I really appreciate it. Jolene appreciates it. And why not? Huh? Lady looked at me today. Oh, you're the actor off of Bad Chad Customs. I said, I'm no actor. I said, I'm a truth teller. I'm not an actor. Not even the slightest. Whoop! It doesn't run without power. I'm not an actor. You couldn't script me if you tried. And if you tried, you'd be disappointed. TV was. They couldn't script me. They couldn't even control me. Could they, baby? Nice. This one off. Remember, it's my fender skirt. I can make it any way I want to. And when you make your fender skirt, you can make it your way too. Too short, too bad. Let's straighten this one out. See if we can't get a fender skirt out of one piece. Stop it. Now, straighten that out the best I can. I actually do not want to straighten that out. It's got a little more bend in it than I want, but I don't want to straighten it right out. And the reason being is I want a little bit of bend to it. I can see I've got a little bit right there. We'll deal with that after. All right, let's get that in there. Make sure that fits there without any, I'm up there. I'll straighten that out after. A piece of wood over there. If I get that up there, I can tap it with a piece of wood. But basically what I want to do is I want to get this going. Not long enough. I can get another piece on the mountain. So I can build one fender skirt today and then have to build the other one tomorrow. And the reason being is, then I can go up the mountain for more metal. I had to go over town for this one. Didn't want to go over town, but I did. Yeah, you're that actor, she said. I was thinking, I've never read a script in my life. Alrighty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece of round rod right there. I'm going to set it on the car and just see what it looks like. First I'm going to move this. I want to bend that back and get that straight. If you've got nothing to do today, build yourself a hat. If you've got nothing to do, why not? Huh? Show us what you got. I'm going to take that, get a hammer. I'm going to bend that on the easiest thing to bend that is right there. And we're right here. Doesn't take that much to bend something, so you really have to be careful how hard you hit something like that. You see how it's laid down already? Huh, right? Just very easily, I just tap that. It's not on the thing anymore, but we'll tap it again, just for a little bit more. Yeah. I'll make this fender skirt and then you can make one. Huh? Show you how me do it. Show you how you do it. I'm gonna bend that down a little bit. No. Yes, because it's kind of coming up off a little bit. I want to bend it the other way. All right. Not bad. A little bit there. Let's put it on first. Let's see what happens. do this. Not looking to rip off the paint, but I'm not looking to scratch it all up either. Not looking to scratch it all up either. Protection. Kind of up here somewhere, so we'll put some tape up there. Let's try it. Cheap tape, not big tape, cheap tape. Cheap tape. I shouldn't say that, nothing's cheap nowadays. And as I say that, here. Now, what I don't like right there, I don't like this area. Don't mind that. That's good. That's fantastic. That's good there. Just not sure if I'm liking this big hip here. Just tighten her up a little bit. Not hard to do to put a dent in it, that's for sure. And what I mean by dent is we're going there, there, there. What do you do? This right here, should I just take that down some, or like that? That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to knock it out some more here. I'm going to take this. I like that area there. Just going to bend this out a little bit. Got it. No, I don't want to do it that way. Don't want to do it that way. Come on, Shetty. I want to do it this way. Now, when I go to make the other one, this will be my pattern, not that. All right. Just pat it right there. If you haven't got a knee in your toolbox, you'll have to get one. They're good. I'm happier with that. Much happier. Down the front. Nice, nice. Flip it up in the back a little bit. Flip it up in the back a little bit. Yeah. Don't hit the grill. Just try to bend it a little bit, which I got it. Nice. All right, now I'm happy with that, or I think I am. Sure I am. Looks good. Not as good as Jolene, but good. Let's go down there like that. That gotta go there like that. We're above the line. Everything looks good and round. Take that up there like that. All right, let's put a piece in it. What shelves here? Easiest way to bend metal, just put it on the floor and give it a little tap. Probably the easiest thing you could ever do. Probably the best tool you'll ever buy, because it doesn't cost you nothing. But you have to remember, Got a pen right there, I do. Nope, I'm gonna use this over here because it's sharp. Just want to take that bend out of it. Put a little bend in it. There we go. Look at that. See how nice and see how bent that is? It's quite a ways. You know what I mean? It's got quite a bend to it. Let's get it going here again. Get some more going. All the tools that you can acquire in your garage for nothing are probably the best tools you'll ever get. This piece of wood that you see right there cost me nothing. And I've used it more times to build things than you can shake a stick at. And you can too if you want to. Now I just hit it. Now I'm trying to get a nice bend on it. Nothing's kinked up anymore. I just got a nice bend on it. Now, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to put that on the face like that. So you can see see how that's going like that? That's what I want. I want that shape down there. So when I apply the metal to it, it has this to it. Also in these 34s, it looks like it has a big rollover on the top line of the edge of the fender skirt. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to connect it. I'm going to shave, I'm going to cut that a little bit and slide it up in there if I can. Sure I can. Put that on the face of that like that. And I'll do the exact same thing down there. I'll cut them ones together. Let's tack that one there. I've got the welder down here, so let's go down here. Can't do anything about it. It's just the way it's gonna go. Just turn the welder around. So I would say first step on building a fender skirt, just take that wheel opening, get yourself a piece of cardboard, and get your opening. That way there you can mess with it on the floor instead of on the side of the car like I've got it there first starting out. I probably knew better. I did know better. But I wanted to see how I could get it going. So, when I have this fender skirt, when I have that all welded up, it's not going to fit the car. Like it's what I'm going to say. I say it's not going to fit the car. What I'm going to say is it's not going to fit the car perfectly to be able to apply that round rod and have it tight against. I'm still going to have to go over to the piece of wood and play with it a little bit. That's all. And that's the way it'll go. So put that over there. Not sure if we'll put the round rod. It's got to be up on its crown. I want the crown up. The reason I want the crown up is because I'm going to apply sheet metal to it. And I want the sheet metal, come on. We're going to do this. I want the crown up on this piece because sheet metal is going to apply to it. And every sheet metal that you put on your car should have a little crown in it. Perfect. Just a little shot. See my crown here? That's where the sheet metal is going to be applied. Now, I'm going to cut that. Got to go get that zip cut and pull that down a little bit. Just so it fits better, that's all. Perfect. How you doing today, Fiend? Huh? How you doing today? Doing good? Huh? And 100% for sure, if, oh, see that right there? See that crown? That crown's going down like that. You notice that? See how it's going like? You know what? I'm going to leave it like that because it would look a lot better with the crown. If I put the fender skirt on It should have a crown this way and a little bit of crown that way, and I'll tell you why. If it's straight, awesome. But if it's up a little bit, your fender skirt will look like it's sucked up, it's not down far enough. So basically you'd be safer having a crown down than a crown up. You need a crown out for sure and a crown down. I think that's basically where it should be. It looks good. So you can see the crown coming. I can change that. Yes, I can. With a hammer. But I'm not going to right this second. I'll leave it just the way it is. Perfect. Now, what I have is a round rod template, I guess, of a fender skirt, just tacked together. Not tacking it to the car this time. Every time you've seen me make a fender skirt, you've probably seen me weld it to the car. This time I'm not. And the reason being is, I don't want to hurt anything. Now, that's nice there. And put it down the back. Yeah. Beautiful. Now, see this? Come back here, baby. Come back. I like this crown coming down. See how that's kicked out on the end there? See how it's not? It's kicked out right here. Right? Now I need to get that kicked in that way. You know how I'm going to do that, don't you? Let's go over to the, let's go over here. Hope it don't come apart. But if it does, you know what I'm going to do? Ha! Weld it back together. Oh, come back. Let's go weld it back together. Remember I said I'd weld it back together? That's what I'm going to do. We'll just have to zap it on a little bit better so it does not come apart. I know one thing, I watch the internet. You know, I obviously do, all I do is scroll and like. But I can tell you one thing. If I had 10 or 15 of them boys from India with their slippers on and their white suits, there'd be nothing stopping us here, man. We could build so many cars. Them guys are so good with the tools they have. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. To be able to build something with nothing, hats off to them guys. You know what I mean? Build something from nothing. It's one thing to, you know, buy pieces out of a catalog and then put it all together. Yeah, sure. Awesome. Well done. But to make something from nothing, that's my hero. That's my hero. My hero doesn't order from a catalog. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, my now we're getting better. We just got to tuck that in there some. Just on the end a little bit, I'm thinking. I like that right there. It's in there closer now, isn't it? We'll just put it in there a little bit more. Let's do it. Hope it doesn't come apart. Yeah, if you order from a catalog, that's great. But if you can make something, you're my hero. Don't want to hurt it too much, to hit too hard or anything. No paint scratched up yet, that's a good thing. We're fitting better back there. I can actually whack it a little bit more. On the front here, it's going to need to be, you can see the front here is not tight either. You know, that's not bad actually. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And let's check the back here. Stop it, stop it. Just a little bit more. Right on the end. Right on the end of her. That's where I want to be, right on the end of her. That's where I want to hit it. Take it back. Ooh, baby. We're above the line. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. Real good. Alrighty. We're above our line on our fender, which is fantastic. We're above that. We're down where we're supposed to be. We're looking good. Now, this has a, see on the bottom of it? Got to straighten that out a bit. The crown's gone a little bit, like it's kind of messed up there a little bit. See, it's messed up right there? See that bend? That stuff's got to be straightened out before things roll too far, before, just going to straighten that out a little bit. Actually, yep, I'm going to straighten it out. And the reason being I can. Nothing to it, just hitting it in the right spot, that's all. I'm hitting it easy, and so you think it's so hard, but yet, basically, sometimes it's a little easier than you think. What I want is, I want the bottom of this piece to run nice and fluid. And what I mean by fluid is no sharp bends in it. And there's a little place right there. Just give me, now I've got a nice fluid bend on that. That's a nice fluid bend. It seems like a lot, but when I put that piece of metal on there, it's really going to try to, well, actually I'll probably bend the piece of metal that way and get it going that way. All right, let's get a piece of metal going. Now, on these fender skirts, it shows that it has quite a lip that goes over the whole way. Does it matter? I'm not sure. That would be probably the original way. But that fits pretty good right there. I'm going to take a piece of tape and just tape it there and take a look at it. Got to do it. And then we'll peel it off and we'll make a pattern for it. Piece of metal. Try not to scratch the paint up. And if it does, you know what we can say? Patina! Patina. Oh, stop it. Nope, that ain't where it's supposed to be. Just want to take a look at it. I'd be foolish to keep going and not take a look. Absolutely foolish. Oh, this next one to fall off, it does. Nope. That just cured me of wanting to see it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of metal and put that on a piece of metal and cut it out. What? No, I couldn't get the tape off my hand. Look, it's stuck to my shirt. The stuff is like driving me nuts. Get off of me. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull a piece of metal out. I've got two different pieces of metal there. I've got a piece of 16 gauge and I've got a piece of 18 gauge. Just kind of wondering what I would use a 16 gauge for. Just kind of wondering. Do they need to be that? They don't need to be that heavy. No, they don't. 16 gauge be saved for something else, no doubt in my mind. I'm going to pull it out of the way, I guess. It's heavy stuff. True life struggle right there. It's true life struggle. 18. Man, the fender skirt looks good, eh? To me it does. Looks really good. And what I'm looking for, I'm just looking for some sharp bends in it. I don't see really any sharp bends in it that are too drastic. And this is 5/16 round rod. I can always shave it down a little bit. Let's do this. Put her up here. That go along there. We got a little bit of down, so we want it a little bit long. Now, on the fender skirt, it shows on the 34s, there is most certainly a shelf on the top of the fender skirt. And it seemed like, you know, 1/2 inch or something like that. So, this is what I'm thinking. I should cut that metal a little bit bigger. I don't know if I'm going for the exact same fender skirt they have there. I don't think it's necessary. Do you? They have like a shelf going over there. So basically, to make that shelf, I was thinking about that fender skirt they have there. I would cut this piece of metal. Probably the easiest way to get that flopped over and make it look nice all the way around is to cut a piece of plywood, clamp it in between 2 pieces of plywood, shape that on the plywood, you know, the rollover that you want, and then go along and tap it all with a hammer and make it fit. Like I said to Jolene, I don't know if I want to start a wood company or not. So let's cut it, and then I can decide after. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it big, and that way there, if I cut it big, then I have lots. Because basically, let's figure it out again. Let's figure it out again as I put that on there. And if I cut that off on the line, well, then we know that there's no metal left to flop over, because it would make it short down here, if that makes sense. Sure it does. Let's do this and let's make it bigger a little bit. Let's make it a little bit bigger. You know, that made it small. So I'm going to cut 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch bigger than what it shows on both sides of the line. Now that I've cut it that size, I'm not even sure if I... This is the front. It's the front. Goes on like that. I've got a roll in the bottom of that. I already showed you once, I think twice, maybe 3, 4 times. I got a roll in the bottom of that. I want to roll on the whole thing. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick this in the roller. Nope, I'm going to put a piece of metal through it first. The tire was a good idea, but the pattern was better. Yeah. I guess the tire was a good idea for a start. This will do. The tire idea was a good first start, to get it bent around. But the pattern's the one you want to check it against and go with. Very easy to make a pattern. You watch me do that. Just stuck it up. That didn't do anything. Let's wind her up. Basically, I just want to see what kind of curve I'm going to get when I shove my metal through and bend it, that's all. And this machine right here only gives me one way. That way. It only gives me one way. This one. And long as you have at least one way, you couldn't be safe. I've built many fender skirts. Having a crown on all ways is the answer. Now a bubble skirt, them bubble skirts, they were fiberglass, them are, but them bubble skirts, they would take a lot of action on a pull max or something like that. And that's what I got there. See, we got a curve going on. We'll go back on this side, see that curve? All right, now, let's curve this bad boy. We're going this way, we want the curve like that. We got lots of metal because I cut it long. But we're going to put some action in it. Ooh, now, got some action, haven't we? Huh? Seconds that was, seconds, putting action in that. Seconds. Yeah. On that fender skirt there, there's quite a bit of action on the top, bent over. Do we need that action? I don't think we need that action, to be honest with you. And the reason I say we don't need that action is because I don't think I'm interested in trying to beat that edge all over. I've got that edge right there, the round rod. That's giving me a 5/16 rolled over edge. I've got this going on. You'd never see anything in the fender skirt that way. And you would never see anything in the fender skirt this way if you look down from the top because it's round. I hope that makes sense. I've only got one action going on this way. You do not need this and that to build a fender skirt. You need one action going on from front to back, and then the rest will take care of itself. What I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I might tack it on there, baby. I might. And the reason being is, I don't feel like I need to flop that edge all over to get that. But if I do, I most certainly can. Nope, I don't think it's necessary. Do you? Baby? That's what I needed right there. I need an answer from Jolene. No, it's not necessary. Okay, thanks, baby. Just like that. Not necessary. Let's take in. You're 100% right. Jolene said, should you trace that first on a piece of cardboard? This fender skirt here. I most certainly should, but I will have the shape when I have the fender skirt. I'll still have the shape. So I'm okay. Jolene's saying I should trace this on a piece of cardboard, but what I'm saying, I still have this fender skirt to use as a pattern, because once the fender skirt's made, then I can use it as a pattern, and then I'm still in the same place. Is that true? Is that true? Let's do this. I think it's going to change when I apply that anyway, but we'll do this. Just because we can. Just because we can. Good call. E-R-N. Practicing my writing. Haven't done that for a while. I don't even know why I did that. There you go. There's my pattern. So now I have it. So Jolene's happy. I'm happy. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I'm going to tack at the top because we're long. I can cut it off at the bottom. That's what I'm going to say. And cut it off at the bottom. As long as we have what we need. I'm going to do this. stop it. What have I got going on here? Why am I not matching up here? There we go. Now, I'm going to leave the length on the bottom. And the reason I can always cut the length off the bottom, no problem. Yep. Right? I can always cut the length off the bottom. And just cut the length off anywhere as far as that goes. And I am going to have to cut this again. I probably should have. Probably should just cut the pattern right is what I should have done. And that way there I wouldn't have to cut again, but we'll go for it. All nailed on there. Missed it all together. Every time I mess with that, something's going on with the welder. Okay. It's on there. See how that. Wish I would have cut the pattern right is what I would have done, but I didn't. And what I mean by that is let's go around, tap it on the top, or tack it on the top. We can buff that all off later to make it fit perfectly. We'll clean that round rod up at the same time. Just closing my eyes and hitting it. As long as we got enough, that's all that matters. Ah, look at how much tension's there. There's a lot of tension. And that's when you want, when you're building something like this, you want, do I want, as you can see, I've got quite a distance there at the bottom, but that's going to give me, what is holding me, man? Lose it. That didn't work out right at all. Let's do it. It didn't work out for me. There we go. There we go. It didn't work out right at all for me. Did not. Just tack it. Took off on me a little bit right there, it did. Let's do it again. Ha! Got too much tension. Nope, not gonna do it. Haven't got it plied on there right either. It's enough metal, you know what I'm saying? Didn't apply it right. Didn't apply it right. Now, let's take this off. Boo-boo number one. Boo-boo number one. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Where do I want to apply? I want to apply the lots. We got lots. Apply this first, I guess. I'm going to apply it down the bottom. Come on. Jeez. Just applied it wrong, that's all. Apply the curvature first, I guess. Just to make sure I got enough. Now we're back in the middle here, that's good. Now let's do the outside. Now we're talking. Awesome. Sometimes it goes like that. Don't get discouraged, just keep going. You know, I'd be assured that, you know, anybody that's, you know, the champion of the world in boxing or UFC or whatever, they didn't give up. Because I'm sure they've got knocked down many times, but they didn't give up. Tied it on tight here. Tight as it can be. And I got a little piece of weld in between there. I probably could use a pair of vice grips would be good, but my hands are something like a pair of vice grips. Yeah, you can still see a little piece of, see like a little metal in there where I got it, where it was welded before. What it does is just hold you out from being a tight fit. You got to get it off. Nice. That's a tighter fit. Now all this, every one of these tacks that I put on there, they're going to end up getting ground off because they're on top, out too far. I'm going to have to shave the metal down or sand the metal down to the round rod to make it look good and fit good and make myself happy. That one's there is tight and right. When I get this tacked here, I'll pick it up. We'll take a look at it and see if there's any shape in it. So what I'm thinking, what I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to make a set of fender skirts that I can put on the car that I don't have to put a bunch of mud on, that sort of stuff. I can try to polish them off the best I can. Now, take a look at that. Look how curved that is. See that? You've got no way, looking down the edge of that fender skirt, you would never know any way you would need any filler on something like that because it has that contour. Now, when I want to look at this way, I want to make sure. Now, see this here? I'm going to have to take that off again. See that bottom? That bottom That bottom piece of round rod's not straight. See that? How crooked it is? This one here going like this, can you see how crooked it is? Well, that has to be straightened out. So what has to happen is I have to knock off a couple welds and straighten it out. And those two welds down there are the ones I'll be probably knocking off and pulling it down a little bit to get that curvature this way. On the top, I feel like everything's okay. I'm going to be buffing it all off and welding it there. Let's set it on the car. Beautiful. Have a nice fender skirt for a 34 Ford. We just got to make it fit the best we can, or a little bit better. And how we'll get that is we'll play with it a little bit. Let's do this. Take it around. I'm going to What time is it? Now, I'm gonna get a pair of channel locks. Channel locks, I'll use them a lot because I can squeeze things with it. And where are my favorite? There they are. Ding, ding. Hold that tight. There. I should have probably not made it too big. I probably should have just went with the way I was going to. And the way I want to do it. So now I'm just cutting it off to get it back where it was or supposed to be. So I'm just going in between each one, cutting it off, well, where it should be. Tight, tight, right. I'm leaving that tack on there to hold it in place. Be foolish to let it off. I took that time to get it on there, so stop it. Tacked up. Tighten right. Now you can do this multiple different ways. I've got the fender skirt sitting on the outside of the fender. You obviously can have it sitting flush with the fender. You can have it. I've done it on the 50 where it was flush. I've done it on the Hudson Terraplane where it was on top. Basically, I'm doing the exact same thing on this one, but on the Hudson Terraplane, I welded all the metal to the car and got the shape that I wanted. This one here, I'm doing it without. Don't need them anymore. They've done their job. They've done their job. And what I mean by done their job, they've held it tacked in place. Let's finish the rest of this. Got a little bit more to do. You see me when I applied it wrong? And all I did is untack it and do it again. Basically, that's the only move that you got. Really, if it doesn't work out, untack it, do it again. That's what I do. If I fall down, I get back up. And when I do, look out. Because I generally usually get it. Let's get this one. Get this one way down here. I probably would have ended up shaving a little bit off anyways if I had cut it perfectly the size, because I probably would have, probably wouldn't have got exactly right, but just trying to make it tight and right. Don't bruise the metal at the same time. What I mean by bruise the metal is dent it by getting a vice grip over the top of it and hurting it somehow. Don't want to do that. More to go. Just twist it up there bad, that's all. Get rid of it. Get them held up there. Yeah. I've got a nice fender skirt there now. Nothing is like nice fender skirt there now. It's got a nice roll to it. I have to straighten that bottom. I have to straighten this bottom one out a little bit. That's fine. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom as I did on there. I'll cut that off and I'll pull it down a little bit, give myself a little bit of crown, and then I'll cut the excess off and tack it as I go. But as I'm feeling right now, I've got a nice fender skirt, 434 Ford, and I've never hurt anything. I've never hurt no paint, never did nothing. All I did is make a shape. And back there with that bend, see that bend over there where it's, come here for a sec here. You can see how, I want to show you something. See how that's out there? That's fantastic. You know what, I'll tell you why. When I tighten that up and go over there on that piece of stump of wood and I bend that in, what's it going to do to the metal? It's going to tighten it. Because what's going to happen is that little piece at the end there is going to go in towards the car and it's going to pull on all this. Pulls in on that. Remember when I couldn't get the round rod tight down because it didn't have enough metal? So what's happening is once I pound that piece there in to fit the fender nice, it's going to pull on this metal to make this metal stronger, tighter. So what's going to happen is there's going to be no flimsiness in this when I'm bending that in. It's going to tighten everything up there. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to tighten up here or anything, but it definitely is going to tighten up the metal on the car or on the fender skirt when I go to bend that in there. And what I'll do is I'm going to tack it together a little bit better, get the bottom fitting a little bit better, and then go from there. And then I'll start beating it around and that sort of stuff. I will take the wire wheel and clean all that round rod up. A lot of people, you know, store their metal outdoors because it's not going anywhere, I guess, but there's a fender skirt. I would say within the hour for a 1934 Ford Cabriolet. It's got a nice shape to it. There's no real big kinks in it. If there was any, like a little kink or something like that, I can sand on that a little bit. This is, you know, 5/16 round. You take a little bit of shape out of that. Also, when that goes on there, that 5/16 round rod gives me that little bit of shape off the car. So I'm happy with that. If I want to put something here and do what they want to do, I can do that also. I have to figure out how I'm going to hold that on there, but I'm happy with that. Thanks a lot for coming back, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure. I guess what I would say is if you're going to build that fender skirt or you're going to build a fender skirt for your car, do the first thing and get the piece of cardboard like Fina's laying on there. Get the shape of the fender, of the opening of the fender, and then you can bend it to that shape, and then you can get your metal cut and go from there. Me trying to bend it and trying to put it on the fender back and forth, probably wasn't the way to go to start with. The pattern over there is the way to go with. The round rod, you can pick any style of round rod you want. You can pick 1/4 inch, 55/16, 3/8, whatever you want. If I wanted that thicker lip all the way down there, I could have used thicker round rod, like conduit or anything. If I wanted that round shape, like the stuck out that far there, stuck out yay far. If I wanted that, I could use conduit to make that. You know, the outside shape and then connect my metal to it. And conduit's just something like this, but not, I guess kind of what I'm talking about up here. See that pipe going run along there? See it bend it down to the, you can get smaller stuff like that and can be bent. You can bend it with actually a bender for conduit pipe. You could do that to make that bigger shape. But I really feel like I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. If I'm not, you know what happened? I'll make another one. Basically, I'll make another one. Give me 50. Alrighty. Yeah, so if you want a fender skirt, you can do it. Make a pattern, round rod, one shape on the metal. That'll give it to you. A little bit of contour this way, a little bit of contour that way. You got her. Back tomorrow, we'll be here.